Alright, now that we're in the car with the air conditioning running, let's talk about how the car comes. Chevy Bolt does not offer adaptive cruise control. The Chevy Bolt does offer, in the Premier model, lane keep assist. The lane keep assist is managed entirely by a camera that is front facing, i.e. the front facing camera. I'm going to show you something. And the only reason I can't show this to you the right way is because I can't seem to find the plastic cover, and I sure as heck hope I didn't accidentally throw it away. Behind the mirror, there should normally be a big plastic cover. And that plastic cover, if you want to remove it, you just gotta get your hands in there and pry it, and it pops right off. Super nice. And then you'll see this camera. That's your front-facing camera. That is the brains of the operation. But let's be fair. Let's be honest. Lane keep assist, stock lane keep assist on the Bolt. It's not automation. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now. This is how you turn it on. This is how you turn it off. And when it's turned on, if it detects lanes in the road, and if it detects that you're drifting, it will nudge you back. It waits until you cross the line, though, sometimes. So if you wanted to sit with your hands in your lap and let the car drive itself, you're probably going to bump into cars. It's bad. When I test drove the car, I test drove the lane keep assist, and I was super impressed. I'm like, wow, this car drives itself. The sales guy was like, turned a little white because I, let up my hands off the steering wheel and it was drifty, but I didn't want to notice how bad it was. So it's bad. It's not automation. It's not adaptive cruise control, and it's not auto steering. So you have to, everything's pretty much manual. The lane keep assist is more of a safety feature than anything else. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. I paid too much for this car to be limited to such crappy stuff. So I found out about something called OpenPilot. OpenPilot is an open source software package that runs on a specially built device here, guys, called an Eon. And OpenPilot interfaces with your car, and it replaces the lane keep assist with actual steering control. So it actually keeps your car centered in the lane. In cars that have adaptive cruise, it can provide better adaptive cruise. It's also capable in some cars of providing adaptive cruise where adaptive cruise was not previously available. Well, guess what? When I first looked into it, Chevy Bolt completely not supported. It's open source though. So I forked the code, made my own copy, spent many months getting this working, and it works now. It's not 100%, but it is definitely good enough to demonstrate. And it is good enough to provide to others, even though it still needs a little polish. So, let's get back to business. Say you have a Chevy Bolt, and you want a car that you don't have to hold on to the steering wheel, and you don't have to bother with the gas pedal and the brake. Like a Tesla with autopilot. I was debating between the Tesla and this car. I assumed the lane keep assist was as good as autopilot. Oh, I was so wrong. But OpenPilot takes care of that. OpenPilot gives you autopilot on your Chevy Bolt. I'm going to digress a little bit here, but turns out that the changes and the effort that I did to get it working on the Chevy Bolt also make it work on most GM vehicles that have lane keep assist, but don't have adaptive cruise control. If it comes with adaptive cruise, you don't need my help. I can't help you. But if you got a GM car that comes with lane keep assist and does not have adaptive cruise, and you want those, I can help. What I'm going to show you is the old hardware. There aren't a whole lot of differences. Later on, I'll make a video with the new hardware. You need to purchase from comma.ai. An Eon is what this is called. You can't anymore. This is the old model. Now they have something called a comma 2. So you got to get a comma 2. If you're going the old route, as I did, you need this device here, which is called a Panda. So from comma.ai, if we lived, 4 months ago, you would buy an Eon, you would buy a Panda from comma. That's all you would need from them. Then you would get a hold of me, and you would buy this thing here, which is called a Giraffe. Wow, that's fuzzy. There we go. Future state. There's no giraffes anymore. Now it's called a harness. But not a whole lot of difference. It's just you unplug something, you plug something in. Crazy easy to do. So you buy these things and you unplug your camera connector, plug it into this crazy giraffe thing. You plug the giraffe into the Eon, and you're almost ready to have a car that will steer itself. That's actually it. To do the self-steering, hardware installation wise, that's it. Yes, there is this GPS receiver here. New versions don't have that, so you don't need to worry about that too much. But I've got it to the point where all the connections that you need to make are just right here. And even better, this bad boy, this whole thing, will fit under the plastic cover if you have the plastic cover. With the comma 2, that's that new model, the parts are even smaller, and there's no question it's going to fit. So you're going to have something mounted to your dash with a wire that goes up under your plastic cover. If all you need is steering, that's it. After you've purchased all the hardware and you've got it installed, however, you need to install a custom version of the software on this guy. What was that? Pen. The details of that are, I would say, out of scope for this video. It's not terribly difficult, and there's a whole community that can help you with getting that updated. Because the Bolt and all the other cars I mentioned, or I didn't mention about other cars, but the Bolt and other compatible cars, technically right now they aren't supported by comma. Because comma is open source, though, hopefully in the future they will. And what I have done here is what they're going to use. So that's pretty cool, I think. So you bought all your parts, you plugged them in, you got your software, you started it up, you got the right message. There is very little that you need to know how to do from this point forward. When you turn on the cruise control via the set button or the resume button, OpenPilot turns on, and you get to let go of your steering wheel. I think the autofocus got turned off. There we go. But Jason, I hear you say, steering is great and all, but what about speeding up and slowing down? What if my car comes up behind a truck? Well, we have a solution for that too. This is the other piece of hardware that you'll want to buy from me. It's called a Pedal Interceptor, a gas pedal interceptor. If you can't tell, I am down here looking at my gas pedal. This device, the installation, similar to the Eon itself or the Comma 2, crazy simple. Up here, you have to unplug the car's connector from your gas pedal, plug it into the pedal adapter, and then plug the pedal adapter into the car. That's it for the car installation, and the last step is you're going to need an Ethernet cable for the time being to run up here. The gas pedal interceptor allows OpenPilot to completely control your gas pedal. With the car in L mode, it's down here, but with the car in L mode, it actually can slow down pretty quick too. So if you want a Chevy Bolt or other car in the future, but yeah, anyway, you want a Chevy Bolt or some other car, and you want to add the ability for it to keep you in your lane and speed up and slow down without your intervention autonomously. You want to add autopilot to your Chevy Bolt, you have to buy a Comma 2 from comma.ai. The Comma 2 costs about $1,000. You have to buy the development harness from Comma 2. That costs about $200. If all you care about is steering at that point, all you need from me is to purchase the harness building service. Right now, if you send me your wires, the development harness comes with some wires. You send me those wires and give me $30 via PayPal. I will attach the connectors and I will send it back to you. Alternatively, I'm thinking for $50, I can just send you an independent one, and then you'll have spare wires. Not firm on those prices, but that's where they are right now. So if right now you want to do this, and we're going to demonstrate it. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've already seen it demonstrated, but hopefully now you have a better understanding of what it does and how it's installed and how crazy simple it is to install and how you don't have to void your warranty at all to install this thing, and you can so quickly pull it out if you have to go to the dealership. I can't say enough good about the solution. It's fantastic. So if all you wanted was steering, you'd need those two items from Comma, and you need the harness from me, about $30. Finally, if you want the whole package, you want full level 2 automation, you will need to purchase a Comma pedal. I would recommend buying it from me because I'm the only one who sells it with a GM connector attached. That's four things. I am charging $200 for that device. That comes with a circuit board that has been tested and flashed. It comes with the correct connectors for a GM vehicle. For whatever vehicle you have, I will acquire and provide the correct connectors. And last but not least, it comes with an awesome 3D printed case that I designed myself. And it looks way cooler than the one that Comma provides. When I say Comma provides, gotta clarify, the gas pedal interceptor, that is a community supported feature. Comma designed it, but they don't build it and they don't sell it. You have to buy it from a third party. You could buy it from anybody. And everything that I'm doing here, all of my efforts are going to be open source. So there is no reason why you have to buy anything from me. But let me tell you, it's going to be a lot easier. And some of these things, particularly these crimp connectors here, if you don't have the right tools, you might be creating a dangerous situation. I would feel so much more confident about the safety of your car if you let me do it for you. But Jason, I hear you cry, you got an Ethernet cable hanging in your view. Yes, I do. because I'm lazy and I'm still developing this thing. All right, so what you're gonna do, you buy all this stuff, you're happy with it, you're happy with your car, you want to make it look super tight. This Ethernet cable down here can be run up through here, up under either here or back there, all up to here. Yeah, you have to disconnect some panels and put them back together. Run it across over here to the center and have it pop out where all these other wires do, right there. Once the plastic cover's on, no one will know that that's even there. You will forget about it. So that's it. Those are all the connections. Unplug and plug in some stuff down there. Unplug and plug in some stuff up here. If you don't care about aesthetics, just get a long Ethernet cable and tape it up along here. If you do, pull off some panels, put it behind it. All of a sudden you have a solution that looks just super tight. And it works super tight too. So, I think that's enough explanation. You see how to install it. It's almost too easy. You have heard what it does and what provides. Literally. Okay, I shouldn't say literally, but it provides an almost complete autopilot type solution. It's not as good as Tesla's, but it's so very close, and it's getting better every day. It's open source, so the community can make it better, and if you want to take up your code hands and start making code, you can even make it better. How awesome is that? I don't know. I'm a nerd, so that kind of stuff excites me. All right. So that our video is complete, let's go ahead and do a demo. I'm going to go get on the highway first, and then I will see you back here. While I'm getting on the highway, just thought I might mention that the Eon, which I have, that is the Eon, which is the older version. The new one is called the Comma 2. The Eon, you cannot leave on the windshield because it contains a cell phone, and that cell phone contains a battery. And the sun will very quickly cause that battery to get way too hot, and it will start expanding, and it will break your device. So you do have to stash it when you're not driving. But guess what? The Comma 2 does not have a battery, and the Comma 2 is safe to leave on your windshield. It can get real hot, and it's not going to do any damage. All right, we're on the highway. Let's get up to a speed, I don't know. Sometimes I like to be a little naughty. Let's go 80. I'm gonna hit this button right here. You may have heard this made a noise and turned green. I don't have to touch the steering wheel anymore. Car's gonna handle it for me. Since I have a pedal adapter though, I need to turn off the cruise control. So after engaging, I hit that to turn off the cruise control. OpenPilot is now controlling both the gas and the steering wheel. Oh! And I'm in L mode. Alright. Being in L mode allows it to slow you down faster. If you don't put it in L mode, it can only slow down as fast as letting up on the gas would. So here's an example of a curve. Not a super tight curve, but hold on, let's just I'm not interacting with the vehicle at all. The vehicle's doing all the work. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The car in front of us is only going 73. Now we're speeding up because the car moved out of the way. It doesn't need radar to do this. It's able to use its camera and some fancy AI. But, okay, we're coming up behind a truck, we're slowing down. It's really awesome though, because you shouldn't be doing this, But let's say that for some reason you were distracted at the moment. You're not going to crash into that truck. It's going to slow down. When the opportunity arises to pass, put on my blinker. Notice what this says. All I have to do is nudge the steering wheel. It just did all the work. And we should start speeding back up pretty soon here. That is about it as far as features go. But that's really all you need to turn your commute into something pleasant. I have found that this thing keeps me centered in my lane better than I do. Now that we have the Pedal Interceptor installed and we have, it's called longitudinal control. You can also call it adaptive cruise control. We have that functionality working. When you approach a tight curve, it actually slows you down a little bit. It's genius. Before I had the speed control, it would not. It would not slow down, and I would get these warnings about not having enough steering torque. You have to keep in mind. Let me back up. Let's switch to the caveats. You know there's caveats. There's always a catch. There's a catch here too. This is not a level 3 autonomous system. This is a level 2 autonomous. That means you need to be watching the road and keeping track of what's going on at all times. I'm on a ramp right now, so... And there's a bunch of construction. I may not be able to show you much more. Like I said, though, I mean, look at me. I'm just weaving around. OpenPilot be keeping me smooth. On to the caveats. You're looking at them. Those cones. See how they're not by the lane marker? OpenPilot doesn't. It's not aware of traffic cones. You would, if I had it engaged right now, you would just be smacking all those cones. Kind of, I am sure that it'll get better in the future. But right now, it doesn't really take traffic cones into account. That's a problem. But it's not, I don't want to say insurmountable. It's not the end of the world. The out-of-the-box following distance is too far. That can be altered in code. I have not altered it yet, so you'll get cut off sometimes when you're letting OpenPilot completely handle your speed. But we can fix that. So again, not a showstopper. The system is very much pre-release. We're not even talking beta. I don't even know if we're talking alpha. I don't know what comes before alpha. But it's got bugs. It's got issues. It'll randomly disengage on you for no reason. It'll suddenly think you can't talk to the car. It's not perfect, and it's not 100% safe. You can't rely on it, but you're not supposed to. It's level 2. You have to watch. Sometimes it'll try to take exits on you. If you're not watching, you will end up going 70 down an exit ramp. I wouldn't recommend that. I would highly recommend that you pay attention, like you're supposed to. Let's see. Right now, the speed control is not perfect. And right now, the speed control can only take advantage of what the gas pedal can do. It can't control the brakes yet. So, highway traffic is fine, but as long as you're paying attention, it just makes it easier. You have a lot less to worry about. The good news is, it is an actively developed system with regular updates. New features features and bug fixes and improvements are coming on a regular basis. And, woo, that was exciting. I think probably what's even more awesome is that the entire system costs about $1,500. That is the parts from Comma and the parts for me. $1,500. I do not believe that you're gonna be able to find a car with the trim level that has adaptive cruise that the difference is only $1,500. It's gonna be more than that. Your car does have to have lane keep assist because it has to have the camera, so it has the wiring for the camera and it has the control circuitry to accept messages from the camera, so you have to have lane keep assist. For my solution, you cannot have radar. If it came with radar, don't talk to me. I can't help you. Okay, you can talk to me if you want to. I'm always willing to talk to people on Discord, but I will have to direct you to somebody else because my expertise is in the camera-based, the camera connector interception. Anyway, $1,500, and you can add autopilot, which, you know, if you had a Tesla, that's an $8,000 upcharge. Would you believe it that there are people who have Teslas who are using autopilot instead just because it is so much more affordable? GM has Super Cruise. People with cars that have Super Cruise still end up using OpenPilot because they believe it works better. I would say probably one of the very best features is that it does not require you to keep your hands on the steering wheel. Most of the solutions that are provided by manufacturers, they expect you to keep your hands on the steering wheel. What is the point of having a car that can steer itself if you have to keep your hands on the wheel? I think that's dumb. I'm not an expert, but that just sounds pretty dumb. So, OpenPilot has cameras that are watching your face. And if you are not paying attention, and it's pretty comprehensive. It tracks the tilt of your head and the whether your eyes are open or not, and whether your eyes are pointing toward the road. It does driver monitoring that makes sure you're watching the road, so you don't have to hold on to the steering wheel. Arguably, OpenPilot's solution is far safer. Oh, that reminded me of one other caveat I suppose I should mention. Presently, if OpenPilot detects that you are not paying attention for too long, it'll just disengage, and then it will not let you re-engage. I don't think that is safe. They are doing it because if you're not paying attention and you get into an accident, they don't want liability. And they don't want people saying, oh, OpenPilot did it. So OpenPilot shuts off if you aren't paying attention. But because it shuts off, your car is just going to wander off and crash into things. Now, granted, now that I say that, I haven't tested it since I've had longitudinal control. Maybe it does actually slow your car down first. I'm not sure. So, I take that back. Need further research to confirm that. But, in summary, it's not particularly expensive. The software itself is free and open source. It's easy to install. It automatically updates itself as long as your car is parked somewhere with access to where it can connect to Wi-Fi. It is able to do stop and go traffic. Not all automatic cruise controls can do that. Thanks to our pedal adapter, it can do it, and it's going to get better over time. It's constantly improving. The only thing that I could see a person wanting to wait for at this point is for the code to get more polished and more stable. It's not super polished. My code, that is. My code's not super polished, and my code has not been upstreamed to comma, which means they would take my code, they would take over maintaining it, and you don't even have to bother with me anymore. It's going to be great if it happens. So, now that you've heard all this, how are you feeling? Are you interested? Does it sound appealing? If it sounds appealing, pretty soon I'm going to have a Shopify page up, and you will be able to purchase the individual parts or a complete kit that is pre-configured and ready to go. Can't do that yet. Well, I suppose you could. It's just just contact me. Here's what I'm getting at. If you don't want to use Discord is my primary means of communicating with people. That's discord.comma.ai. If you head there, I'm Jay Schuler. Send me a direct message, get on the GM channel, tag me, things like that. Right now I'm doing everything through PayPal. So if you want to purchase something, you just PayPal me the cost, and I will put you in the queue. The queue is long right now, but probably by the time you see this, the queue is going to have shortened up. $230. That's all I need if you want to ship me your wires for a comma 2. $250 if you don't want to ship me your wires. If you happen to have an Eon with a Panda, the old version, that is also $250. This is all assuming that you want speed control, and let me just tell you, you really want speed control. Purchasing these products helps to support both my ability to thrive and feed my child and feed myself and other things like that. It helps me obviously purchase the materials. These things take time to build, and my prices have been based on a reasonable time and materials combination, and they're also kind of based on the market value of other similar products. Oh, we get to turn it on again. Always a good time. I feel pretty good about my prices being reasonable. They might actually even be more than reasonable. But it's up for you to decide if you can afford it or not. If you want to get into this and you can afford it, I would say now's a real good time to contact me, because the prices are only likely to go up at the moment. Maybe sometime down the road, after, I can automate more of the construction process and the testing process, I might be able to start lowering the price. But yeah, I would suggest jumping on now if you're interested. Again, discord.comma.ai, or you can email me, and I'm putting myself on the line here. It is JSHULER@gmail.com. That is jschuler@gmail.com. Make sure you don't put a C in the Schuler, or I won't get it. Yeah, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. life's expensive and I don't have another job right now, so I would appreciate your orders. Additionally, I have a Patreon project. If you're more interested in accelerating the research and development process, you can become a Patreon subscriber. There's some perks. There's going to be more perks later. Right now, it's really just there to help keep the project going. I will gladly accept your one-time donations via PayPal as well. I'll include that information below. Also, I just appreciate you watching, and I appreciate your time. This is a long video, 35 minutes. If you stayed till the end, you deserve a cookie. Go get yourself a cookie. Unless you're diabetic, then maybe get a pickle or something. I don't know. Or if you're on the keto diet, probably you don't want to eat cookie. Unless you get one of those low carb cookies, maybe. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe and have a great day.